I saw the recent keynote from Apple, and they introduced with one more thing the concept of the Apple Vision Pro, and three big takeaways. First of all, Apple is not Google. So, one big reason why they may ultimately succeed, especially if they ever get the form factor down, reaching the limits of Moore's Law. By the way, the actual Moore recently died, apparently. Anyway, as the chip sizes get smaller and smaller, they have a smaller form factor. They may be able to do everything that they're doing in the Vision Pro headset that looks like a pair of goggles with something that looks more like sunshades. I know that sounds far-fetched, but if you explained the concept of what the Apple Vision Pro is doing just even a year ago, that would have seemed far-fetched. If you'd explained that 10 years out when Google had a kind of a similar idea of the Google glasses, which never really caught on, and there was this idea that it would be kind of cringy if when people did try to go out in the public and wear the glasses that had cameras on them. I don't think the Google glasses, by comparison, did anything all that sophisticated. But it's going to be totally different when it's Apple because it's Apple. Now, I'm not sure how many people are going to walk around with these goggles looking things that have the camera deal going on where you see sort of a facsimile of someone's eyes on the other side, and conceivably they can look around at you and it sort of looks like you're looking at their actual eyes, but it's actually internal cameras looking at their eyes. I'm not sure how many people are going to be doing that with the battery pack, strapped in their pocket as they're walking their dog or something like that. The last 2 hours, maybe not. Whereas if they had some sort of glasses thing, I'm sure there'd be something that looked like the iconic glasses that Steve Jobs wore too. Who knows? If they had something like that, you could possibly drive while you're doing that. I don't think it would probably be the best idea for someone to drive with these Google headsets on. And it might not be a good idea regardless if you could do the spatial computing thing and you had all the different screens going on. But in a world dominated by automated locomotion, that might be a different story. Who knows? Anyway, they're not Google, so they'll be able to get away with it. There's a cult kind of buy-in that if you're a member of the Apple cults, then people will accept you and you'll be able to do that. The other thing is that, well, Zuckerberg and Meta better watch out, not because of the VR thing, but because of the social media thing. You already have the phenomenon with the green bubble versus the blue bubble, and the idea that, Apple people do not want Android people in their chat groups, I'm told. I don't like that. It's not cool. Their emojis don't get along with each other, whatever. Basically boils down to, you're not cool. Apparently there are both men and women out there who consider it a red flag if someone has an Android device. I've had a man seriously tell me that when he converted his girlfriend to a fiance, he had to give her the talk. It's time to give up the Android. This is an Apple household where we're all Apple people. It can't be Android. It's like religion now. It literally is a religion. Supposedly, the same parts of your brain that light up if you're religious will light up if you're a true diehard Apple person. It's a thing. So, it's a social media network already because of iMessage and FaceTime and the fact that these avatar-looking things that you can communicate through FaceTime wearing the Apple Vision Pro as though you were some sort of avatar, even though they're not using that word. They're eating right into Zuckerberg's territory doing that. And then you have this feature where this is not an iPhone, obviously, it's a Android phone, But and that's the other thing, of course, is foldable phones. Even though there's a lot of companies that do that, Google has the Pixel now. This is a Duo. The foldable phone's never really going to catch on until Apple does it. I've had people come up to me and say, "Oh, that looks cool. Too bad it's not an iPhone." Anyway, you can take your iPhone, bump it up against another iPhone, and all your information from your business card goes right to that. It's like a digital business card. And it doesn't matter that you can do that or you will be able to do that at some point with an Android device. There's a cool factor that you cannot duplicate when it's on an iPhone. And not to mention the fact that this built-in social network will have the same, potentially more penetration in the market than Zuckerberg could ever dream of. iMessage and FaceTime is everything that he wishes WhatsApp and Messenger was, but it just can't be. You can do video calls on Messenger. It's just not the same thing. It just isn't. The other big thing is potentially, well, sure, just like any other technology, there's going to be a lot of cons, but one big plus from some sort of smart glasses type device that maybe Apple Vision Pro will give birth to, and hopefully there'll be an Android equivalent, or Microsoft will have a thing, or there'll be some sort of open source Linux type hardware deal going on, I guess Meta. Regardless, if smart glasses catch on, it could be a big deal for, say, people with various learning disabilities or people that are part of the neurodivergent community, let's say. For dyslexic people, for instance, you could have some iteration of Control F or Command F where you could actually isolate something you're looking for, say at a grocery store aisle, and then just highlight those words. Maybe if the words are scrambling, if you're able to treat actual text that you're looking at like computer text, maybe you'd be able to do some sort of rectangle around the words that you're looking at to mitigate the effect of all the words blending together. If you're someone with ADHD, you lose track of what you're doing, you could have something like virtual sticky notes reminding you of the tasks that you want to do, that you want to perform. If you're someone with autism or on that spectrum, and sometimes you don't get emotional cues from a person's facial expressions or their vocal inflections, facial expressions, vocal inflections, you'd have some sort of reader in the corner telling you, "Oh, this person is angry. Disengage, Will Roger," something like that. I don't know. We have a problem. Disengage this person. They are angry. Maybe there'd be a little voice in your head to help you with that, although that could be a problem. Speaking of voices in the head, maybe with auditory sensory, there could be something to help people with schizophrenia and any other kind of cognitive challenge. Maybe those are safe words that might cause you to hear voices, might help you to realize, oh, that's not a real voice. Maybe there'd be some sort of cue that would help people in that, something that they would know when it's a real voice that would come up. It could be something that helps people that are not only neurodivergent, people that are, quote, normal, people that have various other issues that they face might be immensely aided by something like this. There may be a day where you can't just ask someone to take these off because it's like an ADA violation too. It's a strange new world we could approach maybe in the next 15, 20 years. Who knows?